Pictish Kingdom this way.
Way down that lonely road, that's where you're walking to. They said way down that lonely road, trouble's gonna find you there. Half-moon ghost, that's what you are. Makes no difference what you say. Half-moon ghost, that's what you are. No other warning waits for you.
Welcome to Highlands Uncovered, folks. Today we're going up to Craig Phadrig in Inverness, or right next to Inverness. It dates from 800 BC and is famous for the Picts. Pictish Kingdom this way. By the way, you've got myself, we've got Stug behind the camera, as usual. Say hello, Stug.
Hello.
What known fact, St Columba, Is it St Columba? I think it's St Columba. St Columba came here to convert the Picts to Christianity. So this path we're walking on could very well be the path he walked. Do you know, it's absolutely stunning day. The sun is splitting the trees. It's bloody freezing. It's quite cold today. But if you ever bring the kids here, this would be a good bit for them to play in. They've got little, what would you call them, Stug?
Like old shelters.
Yeah, little shelters. Old style shelters. If you can see here. The kids, when I brought my kids here, they loved jumping about inside them and that. It was good fun for them. So, go and have a wee look. I don't know who's built them, but they're school kids or something like that, or a local school that's did it, I don't know. But they're very good, quite minted. Adds to the atmosphere of the place. In the reports, in the old reports of St Columba, when he came here to convert the Pictish king, it's described as being on a steep, rocky hill. I think this is the steep part. So here we are. This is Craig Phadrig, an ancient hill fort. It's only a 15-minute walk up, 15-minute walk back down. It's a half hour to visit the place. That hill there though, I'm just not fit. I'm just not fit enough. But it's a stunning place to come. And I'll tell you a little bit more about history in a second. But the best part about it, apart from the history is fascinating. The best part about it is that view. So this is a Moray Firth. If you get it in the background there, so people can see it. This is the Moray Firth, and the fascinating thing about this is, from the drawings I've seen, people have done with Craig Phadrig, when it was active. It looks pretty barren. You don't see all this forest and stuff like that, so I presume it wasn't here. And if it wasn't here, then there was another three, possibly three, another two hill forts in the area. One was Odd Hill, which is over that direction, so you would have seen straight over to Odd Hill from here. One is Knockfarrell, which is over that direction to Strathpeffer, so that would have been seen. And there's one at Torveen, possibly, so that would have been seen. So they would have seen each other, and I'm guessing there'd been smoke, and the Picts would have had the smoke and the parties and stuff like that, and at night time might have even seen light from the fires, and they'd have all seen it, which I think is pretty fascinating. And at times they would have been friends, and at other times they would have been enemies, probably fighting each other from time to time. But as you look at this site, if you look out here, you can imagine all the parties and the laughter and the fighting and the slaughter, sadly. But you could imagine the very active life that the Picts had here, and people before the Picts. So the thing about, I'll tell you a little bit of history about Craig Phadrig. It's been here since the 4th century BC, and was Iron Age construction by the looks of it, according to the archaeological evidence. And it was abandoned at some point and then picked up again, and it was in use for a long time by the Picts and people before them. But they have found, there's been finds here from the Bronze Age. It's obviously been a very active area for a long time, and you can see why where it's situated. It could easily be defended. I'm going to read from this because there's some there's some big words in here. They're a little bit too much for me. So the Picts lived in the Highlands and northeast of Scotland from the 5th to the 9th centuries. And the Romans called the Picti, which is the painted people. And that's where the name comes from. So you can imagine you're half naked or sometimes naked, painted people. And the paint would have been a sort of blue paint that they got from wood, a dye from the wood, which would have been quite a sight, I suppose, for anyone visiting, coming up to the fort. And it was the king's name was Bredesen, son of Malkin, and he ruled from AD 555 to 584. He ruled here in Craig Phadrig, but he ruled the kingdom of the Picts, the whole Picts. And it was here that St Columba tried to come and convert the King Bredesen. And lucky for him, he was successful. And the rest of the Pictish Kingdom followed. And you can imagine St Columba coming up here with his monks to this fort. And this having the buildings and all that in it. And the king up in the ramparts looking down in St Columba. And at first he wasn't going to let him in. So the life of Columba was written by an abbot 100 years later, called Adomnin. I think I'm saying that right. Adomnin, maybe. And he wrote about the life. He wrote a couple of bits in that those writings refer to Craig Phadrig. And I'll read them to you. So when St Columba was coming here to visit, to convert the king, the Pictish king, it says, once the first time St Columba climbed the steep path, which we just did, to King Bride's fortress, the king, puffed up with royal pride, so you can imagine him with his painting and stuff like that, the blue paint and on the ramparts, acted aloofly. In other words, he told him to, on your break, pal, you're not getting in, piss off, and would not have the gates of his fortress opened at the first arrival of the blessed man. The man of God, you can tell this was written by a Christian. They're the Christians, they're an abbot anyway at the time. They're rather free with the truth, let's just say that. The man of God, realising this, approached the very doors of his companions. First he signed them with the sign of the Lord's cross. All that jazz. And only then did he put his hand to the door to knock. It's hardly a knock, is it? Bang, bang, bang. At once the bars were thrust back and the doors opened by themselves with speed. Whereupon St Columba and his companions entered. There you go, the gates opened themselves. You've got King Bridie up in the ramparts going, what the hell? Guy's magic. And the gates opened and St Columba just went straight in. The king and his council were much alarmed by this. So would we all be, wouldn't we? If somebody came to your door and they just like knocked it and the door flew open. And came out of his house to meet the blessed man with respect. I respect you, you open my door without unlocking it. And to welcome him gently with words of peace. Very nice. From that day forward, as long as he lived, the ruler treated the holy and venerable man with great honour, as was fitting. And then St Columba converted him to Christianity, and the Picts converted to Christianity. And that was the story of St Columba. So this is us on the walk back down. 15 minutes, and then we're at the car park. We're home free. I hope you enjoyed that little video of Craig Phadrig. It's a fascinating place, and if you're visiting Inverness, go and see it. It's worth a visit, definitely. Wouldn't you agree, Stug?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.